If you've ever seen Disney's Fantasia, you definitely remember him. Chernabog, the giant, dark god summoning spirits from the top of Bald Mountain in what has to be one of the most iconic and frankly terrifying sequences in animation history. I mean, it is pure, magnificent evil on full display. But it really makes you wonder, why create something like this? A huge, powerful spectacle of just darkness? And this isn't just about making a cool scene in a movie. It digs deep into that classic problem of evil that philosophers have debated for centuries, and it even touches on that age-old tension between high art and blockbuster entertainment. So, is there some profound purpose to all this, or is it really just for the thrill?
Well, to get to the bottom of it, we're going to explore two very different prologues that tackle this exact same question. One is a divine debate happening up in the heavens, and the other? It's a creative argument taking place on a studio lot. Let's see what they can tell us about the real purpose of evil.
Okay, so our first perspective is, well, cosmic. It's inspired by Goethe's Faust, and it imagines this high-level conversation about all the chaos Chernabog is causing on Bald Mountain. But this isn't just a simple good versus evil thing. It's actually looking at evil as a necessary force, kind of like a fiery forge where the human soul gets tested and hammered into shape. So the whole thing kicks off with the Archangel Raphael reporting back from Earth, and the news is not good. He's describing this absolutely grim spectacle. He says Chernabog, the black god, is conducting a symphony of terror. Apparently all of heaven is wailing at the sight. But not everyone is so bummed out.
And then, who shows up? Mephistopheles, of course, the ultimate devil's advocate. He kind of just interrupts heaven's collective grief with this really cynical, but you have to admit, compelling argument. He basically suggests that this chaos isn't just pointless chaos, it's necessary. I mean, how can people possibly appreciate the good, the light, he asks, if they've never seen true, unadulterated darkness?
Mephistopheles basically breaks down his defense into three key points. First, evil provides a necessary contrast. It's a contrary state, and without it, you can't have any real progress. Second, it's a test of will, right? It strengthens the faith of all the people who manage to resist it. And finally, and you can almost hear him wink when he says this, he frames the whole thing as cosmic theater. You know, a fantastic, really entertaining show.
And get this, he's not just sitting on the sidelines watching. He literally says he's going to go down there himself to help the dance along, to make the sin even more powerful, more tempting. He sees himself as an active player, a provocateur, who's making the whole cosmic drama way more interesting.
But then, the Lord gets the final word. And it's not some angry rebuttal, it's a complete reframing of the entire situation. With this one powerful metaphor, he casts Chernabog not as some great rival, but as an unwitting farmhand. He's allowed to do the dirty work, to till the soil of human experience, but the final harvest, the souls themselves, that belongs to God and God alone.
So, this leaves us with two totally different ways of looking at evil's function. For Mephistopheles, it's this essential, chaotic force that defines its own opposite. But for the Lord, it's just a temporary tool, one that's allowed to exist only because it serves a much bigger divine purpose.
All right, so now let's bring things down from the heavens to a place that might feel a little more familiar. A studio lot. Here we've got a director, a poet, and a jester having a debate that sounds strikingly similar. Only this time, it's all about art, commerce, and what actually makes a good show.
First up, you've got the poet. He's the passionate artist, right? He's arguing that Chernabog can't just be some monster. No, he has to be a profound symbol of primal allegorical might. For him, the sequence has to capture that deep, philosophical dread about the true nature of evil. It's got to be meaningful.
But the jester, he immediately shuts that right down. He's the pragmatist, the entertainer, and he's basically saying, nobody cares about your allegory. The audience wants shock, they want sound, they want a spectacle. Just give them a massive grinning villain and a good old-fashioned scare. A vision of evil that's totally spectacular, but maybe a little bit empty. And this, right here, perfectly illustrates that timeless conflict in art, doesn't it? Is art supposed to explore deep, profound truths, or is it there to deliver a thrilling experience? The poet wants to show the soul's journey in this deeply meaningful way, but the jester, he just wants to create an unforgettable villain that's going to sell tickets. So we have this big debate in the heavens about the cosmic purpose of evil, and then we have this other debate in a studio about its artistic purpose. They seem like completely separate worlds, right? Well, this is where things get really interesting, because believe it or not, they're about to land on the exact same conclusion.
The director steps in to settle the whole argument. He's the one who has to actually make the final call, and he finds a middle ground. He sees the value in what both of them are saying. He gets it. To make something that's truly great, something that's going to last, you need both. You need the depth, and you need the spectacle.
And when you put these two arguments side by side, the parallels are just stunning. In the cosmic view, evil tills the soil for a divine harvest. In the theatrical view, evil creates the chaos needed for a powerful story. I mean, in both cases, darkness is allowed to exist to make the final triumph of light feel that much more meaningful.
So the director lays out his final plan. He says, okay, we'll give the audience the chaos they're craving. We will give them the terrifying spectacle of Chernabog. But it's all just a setup. It only exists to make the resolution, that beautiful, peaceful hymn of Ave Maria that follows, feel completely earned and incredibly powerful.
And doesn't that sound familiar? The director will use the chaos, but he's the one who keeps the powerful story. It's the exact same logic. Just like the Lord allows Chernabog to work the field, but he's the one who keeps the final harvest. The structure is absolutely identical.
So, after digging into these two very different prologues, one divine, one theatrical, we kind of arrive at this unified theory of what all this spectacular evil is actually for.
At the end of the day, Chernabog's magnificent evil isn't the main event. It's the opening act. Whether you're looking at it through a divine lens or a director's lens, its function is exactly the same. It's a necessary but ultimately subordinate force that exists to make the final victory of light feel that much more profound.
Which kind of leaves us with one last thought for you. When you watch a great villain on screen, when you're caught up in that thrill of the spectacle of darkness, what are you really there for? Is it that profound, allegorical meaning that the poet was talking about? Or is it the cheap thrill the jester knew you'd love? Maybe, just maybe, as both the director and the Lord seem to understand, you can't really have one without the other.